Hi, everyone. I'm Ashley Cooper. Life's been a whirlwind of amazing lately. As an environmental lawyer in Boston, I spend my days championing causes that matter and coming home to my incredible fiancé. Marcus makes it all the sweeter. We met 2 years ago while I was working on a water contamination case near a children's hospital. Marcus, a pediatric surgeon, was the first to notice the troubling pattern of illnesses, and well, the rest is history. Babe, your mom called again about the wedding flowers, Marcus says as he walks into our apartment, balancing takeout bags. She's worried the purple orchids won't match the bridesmaids' dresses. I laugh, grabbing plates from the kitchen. She's been in full wedding planner mode since the day we got engaged. Thomas and Diana Cooper, my adoptive parents, are the most supportive people I know. They took me in when I was just 3, after my biological parents died in a car accident. Though I barely remember that time, the love and stability they've given me filled any void I might have felt. Did your Aunt Patricia RSVP yet? Marcus asks, his brow furrowing slightly as we sit down to eat. I sigh, nudging my food around with my fork. Yeah, she did. She wrote a note saying she wouldn't miss her special girl's big day for anything. She always makes a point to remind me she's the reason I found my forever family. Marcus looks at me curiously. You don't talk about her much. There's not much to say, I reply, shrugging. She shows up at family gatherings, drops cryptic comments about how she saved me by finding the Coopers, and then vanishes until the next event. Last Christmas, she gave this over-the-top speech about how much she sacrificed to ensure I had a good life. Before Marcus can respond, my mom bursts through the door, her usual whirlwind of energy in tow. Sweetie, your father and I brought wedding magazines, she announces while Dad trails behind with an armful of catalogs. Mom, we already picked everything out. I laugh, but she's already spreading glossy pages across the dining table. I know, she says, flipping through a magazine. But I found these gorgeous centerpiece ideas. Oh, and Patricia called earlier. She wants to contribute something special to the wedding video presentation. I freeze mid-bite. What kind of contribution? She was very mysterious about it, Mom replies. She said it would show everyone what a blessing this family has been. Mom, please tell me you didn't say yes. Well, honey, she is your only connection to your biological family. I thought it might be nice. Diana, Dad interjects gently, his calm voice a steadying presence as always. Maybe we should let Ashley decide on that. I exhale, grateful for his unwavering support. He's been my rock from day one, teaching me to ride a bike, helping with homework, and comforting me through heartbreak. My parents have given me everything I could ever need. It's fine, I say at last. Let her contribute whatever she wants. It's not like she can ruin anything. The wedding's going to be perfect. Marcus squeezes my hand under the table, a reassuring gesture. The rest of the evening is spent humoring Mom as we browse centerpiece options, while Dad regales us with embarrassing stories from my childhood. This is my real family, the people who chose me, raised me, and love me unconditionally. Whatever Aunt Patricia has planned, it won't change that. Later that night, my phone buzzes with a text from Patricia. Can't wait to show everyone at the wedding what a blessing you've been to us all, sweetie. It's time everyone knew the whole story. I show Marcus the message and his brow furrows. Are you sure you're okay with this? What's the worst that could happen? I shrug, brushing it off. I'd soon regret those words more than anything I've ever said. The ballroom of the Boston Harbor Hotel sparkled with elegance. Crystal chandeliers cast a warm glow over meticulously arranged centerpieces, and laughter filled the air. Everything was perfect. Marcus looked dashing in his tuxedo, and I couldn't stop smiling as we greeted our guests. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats for the special video presentation, the DJ announced. Ready for our love story montage, Marcus whispered, squeezing my hand. But as the screen flickered to life, my breath caught. Instead of the romantic montage we prepared, grainy footage began to play. The timestamp in the corner read July 15, 1999, the day I was adopted. What is this? My mom gasped, her voice trembling as she stared at the screen. The footage showed a tiny version of me, clutching a worn teddy bear and crying, while Patricia's voice played over the video in a dramatic narration. I'm doing what's best for her, even though it breaks my heart. The Coopers will give her what I can't. Turn it off, I hissed at the DJ, who was frantically pressing buttons with no success. The video continued, now showing the younger Patricia dabbing at her eyes with a tissue. I'm sacrificing my own happiness for Ashley's future. It's the greatest act of love I could show. Oh my God, Marcus muttered, already rising from his seat. The footage shifted to Patricia arguing with what appeared to be other prospective adoptive families. No, they're not right for her. I have to make sure she goes to the perfect home. I promised my sister. This is beautiful, Patricia's voice rang out across the ballroom. She stood at her table, a self-satisfied smile on her face. I wanted everyone to see the true story of how this family came to be. My chest tightened as the footage kept rolling. It showed Patricia pressuring my parents, making demands about visitation rights, and insisting on being recognized as my savior. I gave up everything for you, Ashley, Patricia announced to the silent room, spreading her arms wide. And look how wonderfully it turned out. I'm the reason you're standing here today. You're the reason this wedding is ruined, my best friend Sophia snapped from the bridal party table. The room erupted in whispers, and I could feel hundreds of pitying eyes on me. My wedding dress, the one I'd spent months choosing, suddenly felt suffocating. Did you really think this was appropriate? Marcus stepped toward Patricia, his voice trembling with anger. Of course. Everyone should know what I sacrificed, Patricia declared. Stop saying that word. I finally found my voice, tears streaming down my face. You didn't sacrifice anything. You spent my entire life trying to take credit for my happiness. Ashley, sweetie, I only wanted. Get out, my dad's voice cut through the chaos like a blade. Get out of my daughter's wedding, now. But the video isn't even finished. There's more. Security, Marcus called, and two men in black suits appeared almost instantly. I couldn't take it anymore. The whispers, the stares, Patricia's smug expression. It was too much. Grabbing the hem of my dress, I ran from the ballroom, tears blurring my vision. The last thing I heard before the doors slammed shut behind me was Marcus shouting my name and Patricia's indignant protest. All I did was tell the truth. Everyone deserved to know what I did for her. The hotel's garden was cool and quiet, but it did little to calm the storm raging inside me. I gasped for air, my chest heaving as sobs racked my body. My perfect day, the one I'd spent a year planning, had been hijacked and twisted into Patricia's desperate grab for attention. Footsteps crunched on the gravel behind me. Ashley? Marcus's voice was soft, tentative. He placed a hand on my shoulder, but I couldn't look at him. How am I supposed to face them? I whispered. She ruined everything. 3 weeks later, I sat on my couch, glaring at my laptop as I hate-read Patricia's latest Facebook rant. Heartbroken that my own niece would turn against me after all I've sacrificed. Sometimes the people you help the most hurt you the worst. She never stops, I muttered, slamming the laptop shut. Look at this. Sophia plopped a stack of papers onto my coffee table, her expression grim. What is it? I asked, my voice weary. Your trust fund statements from the past 20 years. They don't add up. I blinked, confused. What do you mean? These withdrawals. They are all authorized with your signature. Except. She pulled out 2 documents. I had my forensic guy check these. The signatures are forged. And guess who had power of attorney until you turned 25? My stomach dropped. Patricia. Sophia nodded, her eyes narrowing. And remember Nancy, the family friend who worked at the bank, the one who kept praising Patricia at your graduation party. I stared at the documents, my hands shaking. How much did she take? Close to $200,000 over the years, small amounts spread out so it wouldn't look suspicious. Before I could respond, my phone buzzed. Marcus's name lit up the screen. Babe, you need to see this, he said urgently. One of my patient's mothers just sent me screenshots. She used to work with Patricia. Apparently, this isn't the first time she's pulled something like this. What do you mean? She was fired from her accounting job in '98 for financial discrepancies, right before she took temporary custody of you. Sophia was already typing furiously on her laptop. Her Facebook crusade is backfiring. People are coming out of the woodwork with stories about her. That charity she claimed to run? Never registered. The volunteer work? No records. Another notification pinged on my phone. Patricia's latest post featured an old photo of me at my 3rd birthday. I gave up so much to ensure she had the best life possible. That was it. My hands trembled with anger as I grabbed my phone. That photo was private. She had no right. Wait. Sophia's sharp voice cut through my fury. She was staring intently at the screen. Ashley, look at the date stamp on this photo. I frowned, my eyes zeroing in on the corner of the image. This was taken 2 weeks after my parents' accident. Exactly, Sophia said, her tone loaded. You're wearing a brand new dress in this picture. But according to the trust fund records, Patricia claimed she couldn't afford new clothes for you that month. That's why she applied for an emergency withdrawal of $5,000 for basic necessities. I clenched my jaw. Let me guess. The money never went to clothes or necessities. Nope. Sophia smirked grimly, pulling out another document. According to her credit card statements, which I just happened to dig up, she spent that exact amount on a luxury cruise deposit. The very next day. Before I could respond, my phone buzzed again. Another social media notification. But this one was different. A man named Robert Thompson had commented on Patricia's latest pity post. Is this the same Patricia Anderson who handled the Wilson Family Trust in 1997? Because I have some very interesting documents about that. Sophia leaned back, her eyes gleaming. It's all unraveling. I looked at her, determination hardening in my chest. The lies end today. The headline on the morning's Boston Globe said it all. Trust fund fraud and family betrayal. The dark truth behind a viral wedding video. Sophia's expose had taken the front page and my phone hadn't stopped ringing since the article dropped. The FBI agent's words from yesterday echoed in my head. Miss Cooper, your aunt's involvement in the Midwest Investment Group fraud scheme goes back decades. Your trust fund was just the tip of the iceberg. Have you seen the news? Marcus called from the kitchen. I turned to see him holding a cup of coffee, the TV on behind him. Patricia's being escorted from her house right now. It's on every channel. I flipped to the local news. There she was, Patricia, no longer looking proud, being led to a police car in handcuffs. I did nothing, Mom. She screamed at the cameras, her face red with fury. Ashley, tell them. Tell them how I saved you. Turn it off, I said quietly. I didn't need to see anymore. 6 months later, I stood in a small chapel, Marcus's hands in mine, as we exchanged vows again. This time, everything was perfect. Just family and close friends. No dramatic videos. No hidden agendas. Later that evening, as we celebrated in the garden, a letter arrived for me. Patricia's handwriting stared back at me from the envelope. I didn't hesitate. I walked to the shredder, fed the letter through, and watched the paper disappear. No regrets? Marcus asked, watching me closely. None, I replied. Some people don't deserve second chances. Sometimes the best revenge is living well and helping others avoid the same pain. My phone buzzed with a notification. Smiling, I opened it. Another family had just been approved through the foundation Marcus and I started. A little girl would be going home to her forever family tomorrow. Ready to meet our new success story? I asked Marcus, grabbing my keys. He smiled, taking my hand. Lead the way. As we drove past the city, the prison building loomed in the distance. Patricia would spend the next 15 years behind bars for her role in a fraud scheme. Her lies were exposed, her reputation destroyed. But me, I was just getting started.